Episode 33, The Stormy Present. What would you do if you had more time? If you're someone who doesn't think she has enough time, I learned something today that you might find helpful. Most of us spend 32% of our time stuck in the past or worrying about the future. That means that we're only spending 68% of the time that we've been given in the present. Can you imagine what your life would look like if you stopped time traveling? I've said before that learning to live in the present is my life's work. I realized that I still have some work to do in this area when I caught myself thinking, I'll be able to relax after we close on the condo. The reality is, there's nothing left for me to do except sign the papers. The sellers have already signed. Purchasing this condo has been a mini project for me to manage. Bank statements, the property tax bill, the building's master insurance policy and HOA budget, and our IDs have been uploaded. Our income has been verified, and closing costs have been wired to the title company. There's literally nothing left to do except sign on the dotted lines. We don't even have to collect keys or move. We already live here. So, what do I think will change when we close? Sure, there are a few things to do, like purchasing a home warranty policy and setting up automatic mortgage and HOA payments, but that's about it. So, what again do I think will change? Honestly, I don't think anything changes. I think I've become so accustomed to drama around change that I felt the need to create it in this instance where none exists. Looking back, there was absolutely no drama around this purchase. Our landlords offered to sell us our home, the home we've lived in for 10 years, at below market value. The appraisal came in much higher than the price we paid. We were the only ones who were made this offer, so there was no bidding war. When they made us the offer to sell to us back in May, our landlord said that their preference was that we close by the end of the year. That gave us 7 months. Are you kidding me? So no pressure there either. So I asked myself, what am I waiting for? What am I postponing until after the closing? And I came up with nothing. It makes me wonder if I'm just uncomfortable with nothing to do. Years ago, I was a project manager for a right-of-way company. I managed huge construction projects, everything from estimating costs and drafting proposals to hiring contractors and subcontractors and being on top of timelines and scope creep. It was work for which I was well suited. I had become extremely detail-oriented and productive while working as the managing editor of multiple publications. And I learned to be even more efficient during the 3 years I worked in project management, batching tasks like a mofo. This made me a highly valued employee. We billed our time in 5-minute increments, and timekeeping was separated into billable and non-billable hours. You'll never guess who had the highest percentage of billable hours. The company charged our clients 3 times my hourly rate, so the more I worked, the more profitable the company was. Even after I left the right-of-way company to pursue working with local publications, I brought that lean work ethic with me. It took another 10 years, but eventually I realized that although my crazy productive mindset was good for my client's bottom line, it was horrible for me personally. My cortisol and anxiety skyrocketed. I found it nearly impossible to relax. As I record this, I'm just now realizing that my best friend's terminal diagnosis was the catalyst for me learning to slow down. Productivity isn't all bad. I've always been a list maker, and I still use lists and batch my tasks. But there's a difference between being and waiting. And when I'm waiting, I'm not being. What have I been waiting on? Waiting for the condo to close, waiting to lose weight, waiting for someone to comment, like, or share social media, waiting for Corey to return from Iowa. What are you waiting for? How do you let that shit go and just be? That's it for this week. Thank you for listening to My Act 4. I'll see you next week.